Folks, we are live. You know, this is the long-running Jeff Davis show.
So I've heard, Jeff Davis.
And
Go ahead.
and worldwide.
Well, worldwide. That's right. That's right. Worldwide. By the way, we got some really good on Facebook. We got several likes and several comments, and on YouTube, we got several comments and likes from Tex Mars' appearance last week.
So what'd they say? I'm not on
It was
Facebook.
all pretty positive. It was all pretty positive. You
Yes.
know? Yeah, all pretty positive. But I'm just glad people are watching, you know.
Yes.
So we get that, we do the TV thing and then the live internet feed, and then we got the archive for people to check out.
Yes.
So it's working out pretty good.
We're live July 18.
July 18th. Yeah.
You can call in now.
Yeah, you can call in, folks, if you like. This is going to be kind of a free-spirited show. For 2 weeks we had Desi Andrews. We had her talking about the railroading of Carolyn Barnes.
Yes.
I want to do some more follow-up on that.
Yes.
I'd like to have her call in here. If
Carolyn Barnes.
Yeah,
Yes.
have her call in here.
Yes.
Last week, of course, we had Tex Mars, well-known author, millionaire, has sold millions of copies of his books, Tex Mars. So that was pretty cool.
He told me about his fight with the IRS.
Yep. They went after him.
Yeah, he went back after them.
Good.
He got them to back down.
Okay, we got a call. We want to try it?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This is just kind of a free... We're going to be talking about liberty, folks, as the show progresses on. But this is... Okay, welcome. You're all worldwide.
Well, if you like liberty, I'd go down to the track.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Hold
Hello?
on with us.
All right. Let me know when you can hear me.
We can't hear you in the studio, so just hold on a moment here as they turn on the speaker in the studio here, because I think I
Hello?
can hear you in the control
Hello?
room.
Almost.
Yeah. You there?
We can...
Oh, is this Mike?
This is Morris.
Morris?
Oh, okay. Hold on, Morris. We're trying to get
They
you
can
here.
hear you in the control room, but we cannot hear you in the studio here. So I think people at home can probably hear you.
Well, I think so. And y'all are looking nice up there on the screen. You know?
Yeah.
So I was going to tell you, I think the people at home can hear
I
me.
still can barely hear him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Hold
got-
on just a minute, Morris, okay?
Yeah.
So, you don't know what it is?
Well, the sound is going on in the control room. We're hearing it through the hallway is what we're hearing.
Yeah.
But we are not hearing it here in the studio itself.
It's coming across.
There it goes.
Okay.
There it goes. Go ahead, sir.
All right. Man, I tell you,
Thank you,
y'all got the hardest working crew
Yes,
at
we
Access
do.
Television.
We do.
Hard
got-
right now.
You know, I'll start off with something, Jeff Davis imitation, because, you know, imitation is a serious form of flattery.
Yes, sir.
What that there cow say.
What's...
But anyway, that reminded me of Andy Griffin's show when one of the guys said, Judy, 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 and Andy Griffin said, you're not imitating him, you're just saying Judy, Judy, Judy.
That's right.
Talking about Cary Grant. But anyway, yeah, down at the county, you know, our healthcare district wants to raise their healthcare district tax 8% for the next 5 years in a row. And they're going to have an agenda item on the Travis County agenda. It's agenda item 4. And pretty soon your healthcare district tax, which on property tax, which is the lowest amount that you see on your property tax, will probably soon be higher than ACC with this tax and spend, much like our Obamacare, which has nothing to do with health care, but just about taxation more than anything, and more regulations. And, of course, they're going to include funding for abortion in their budget, as they have the last 3 years, tax-funded abortion.
That's Travis County, Texas.
Yeah, tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, maybe anybody interested in liberty and not being taxed out of their existence might want to go down there. And also on the transportation front down at Camp, I know Sabar Springs put out a letter, I think it was dated June the 13th, but they're basically just passing carte blanche legislation down at this Campo board. That's the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization that does these toll roads. Of course, you've seen a lot of articles in the Statesman. Of course, that corrupt Williamson County had an article in there about Cynthia Long, one of the Williamson County commissioners, with a lot of the things they're doing. And then, of course, their commissioners' courts had a lot of stuff. Jan Duty down there has tried to get some things accomplished, but she's not having much luck with that corruption on that commissioners' court.
Yeah.
But they're basically passing things, millions of dollars of transportation funding with no deliverables. They don't even tell you what the money's for. And they're if you look at that letter to Save Our Springs, plus they're doing a lot of cross-collateralization and other things. They're tolling these 4 flyovers that they're going to build on 183 and 290 West, and then they're going to have this massive boondoggle of a toll road that they're selling these junk bonds for. Last time Mike Halligenstein said they tried to sell $100 million worth of those bonds, and they were only offered $68 million. And that was years ago. And now these toll roads aren't, generating any revenue. And I know that, can't remember his name, Mr. Ganem, the guy that ran for judge, the lawyer here in town this last election. He was saying that Williamson County and Travis County told them it would take them 15 years to clear the docket on just the Justice of Peace courts if they took up the people that hadn't paid their tolls.
Well, I just saw some information on that. They are now, these toll road operators, they are now, they give you a little bit of time to pay up. If you don't pay up, then they will issue a warrant for your arrest now for people that don't pay up on toll roads.
Oh yeah, they if you get delivered a summons to answer for your toll violations. Now what they'll tell you is you're not going to jail for not paying the toll. You're going to jail for not answering the summons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
not a very good sign of liberty here at year 2011. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, I just wanted to invite. I want to try to make it down there tomorrow at County Commissioners Court, and I want to blast them about the. They're not willing to give out any information at Campo,
Yeah.
this just basically they're just passing this, and you can actually go and ask those people after the vote if they know what they voted for, and they'll admit right to your face they don't know what they just voted for. And, I asked them, did y'all know you told those flyovers on 183 and 290? And they said, no, we didn't know that. And so, there's actually documentation on film and video. Even at the very Campo meetings, they'll ask, like, a next meeting after, you mean we voted for that? And stuff like that. It's just bizarre, the way they're voting on millions of dollars, and they don't even know how it's being funded. They didn't even know how those flyovers were going to be funded. They were funded a year later with stimulus dollars. So, it's just something, people really need to get involved in this transportation issue, and now the county's wanting to spend millions of dollars on rail along with the city. And they have that on the agenda as well. All right. Hey.
When's your show?
Wednesday, 7 p.m., Frontline, Texas, producer Steve Mason, and we go out worldwide just like you guys
Go out
do.
that's right.
And I'll tell you what, if it was not for access information, there'd be no information at all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm going to talk about that a little bit, too.
All right. Well, appreciate what y'all done, and maybe I can get on the Rural Law Radio with your friend there, Gary Johnson there.
Okay. Well.
And give me a holler. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling in. I want well, let me try this one first. See what we got here. Welcome, you're on.
Well, anyway, that's how it's done. 477-2288.
Toll roads. I was against the toll roads from the beginning. Were you?
No,
Why's that?
because it's a way to pay for roads.
Well, I understand the libertarian premise that it's voluntary. You don't have to get on there if you don't want to. Hi, Chris Ritter. But Vince May, he did an extensive amount of study on it. and he found that there was already plenty of money to build free roads, and they were stealing it for other things.
We're paying gas taxes, and it's not going for roads and highways.
Yes.
It's going for rail and other things.
Well, so you support the toll roads.
Well, it's one way to pay for a road.
Okay. Well, I was against it from the beginning because I think they have enough money to build free roads.
If they don't spend the money on other things.
If they don't spend the money on other things.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about them people not paying, then a warrant is issued for their arrest?
Well, what if you walked into a store and took something without paying for it?
So you think you agree with it?
Well, I mean, what do you want to do if somebody takes something and they don't pay for it? What do you want to
okay.
do? What do you want to do with them? I mean, you don't have to go immediately arrest them, but I don't think you should just allow people to take something without paying for it.
That's true. That's true. What do you think, Gary?
Well, as far as being arrested for not, I guess, like you said, it wasn't for not paying the fine, but for not heeding
the summons.
Summons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that respect,
I mean, that's kind of phony. I mean, you're yeah, I know that's really double talk. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Gary though. You know, if somebody uses it,
They ought to pay.
they should pay.
Okay. Yeah, you all convinced me. You talked me into it. But
the tolls may be outrageous, or I mean, there are all kinds of
it's a big
arguments.
boondoggle.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That
I mean,
was,
I'm not against toll roads. I think that there are a lot of mistakes being made in the way the toll roads are being built here and the way they're being run here. And
but you like the idea about if you it's true.
I don't know if I like it. I'm just saying it's not unreasonable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you all convinced me on that. The best thing for me is just I don't use them. I don't get on them.
Well, you know, I don't use them either. But I was with someone, and we were on the toll road. And that one thing I don't like around here is you can get on a toll road and not realize it. I think that's really bad. You should always be able to pay cash if you don't have the tag. And some of the highways around here, they don't offer that option, and I think that's bad.
Yeah. Let's try this one. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hey, Jeff, it's Nate.
Hey, Nate.
I heard y'all talking about toll roads, and I know the libertarian stance is for free market toll roading. The problem I have is these public-private partnerships, where basically the contracts, it's preferred companies, and it's not an actual free market. In other words,
right?
Yeah,
it's a corrupt system.
I agree, Nate.
That's what I don't like about it. Is fine if they put it out there and they let anybody bid on it, then that would be an actual free market, and we would get somebody that's going to come along and do the best possible job for the best price, but the way it is, it's just like a crony system. And anyway, that's all I had to say.
Hey, Nate, where's Mike?
He had some kind of emergency. I got all ready to come into Austin tonight, and something happened.
Okay. Well, thanks I was just wondering. I'm kind of worried about it because he said he was going to be here.
Yeah, it was a last-minute thing. I would have thought he'd talk to you, but anyway, good show, guys.
Okay, Nate, thanks for calling in. Okay, so we covered toll road. Let's try another one.
There's something about the phone. It does that.
Does it?
Right after you answer, you hang up, it still blinks. But anyway.
Okay, now we're gonna.
But anyway, people want to call in. They can call in again. That's the number 477-2288.
Yeah, if you're watching on television here in Central Texas on Austin Time Warner Cable or Grande Communications Cable TV channel 16, the number is 477-2288. If you're watching or listening over the live stream over the internet at channelaustin.org. Area code 512-477-2288. We're talking about liberty, lack of, or whatever. Next issue then, immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Gary, I came to the conclusion a couple weeks ago that all this human trafficking that we're seeing, where these immigrants get into 20 of them in a bus, that's an artifact of prohibition, immigration prohibition. Would you agree with that, Gary?
Yes.
You would agree with that?
Yes, because if they could come here legally, they wouldn't be crowded into a bus, and they just come over normally.
But Gary, they can come here legally. It's just that they don't obey or don't go by the law. That's the problem.
But they can't come here legally. There are quotas. There are limits on the numbers who can
Yes.
come here.
And there has to be. You can't just.
But you just
allow-
contradicted yourself. You said they can come here. No, up to a certain number can come here.
They may have a longer wait, but it's not fair for somebody to jump ahead of somebody that's doing it legally.
Well, what about if you have a Hispanic family living down on the southern border there of Texas, and maybe their family is somewhere in Mexico, and they just want to, come and visit each, for holidays and whatnot. They're being restricted. Your people, it's restricting them from visiting their own families.
I don't really know that in fact is true, that they're being restricted.
Well,
I think,
legally, they're supposed
Well, then it would be legal for them to come here. Why should there be a limit?
Well, Gary, every country has a limited
Not
resources.
every country.
Every country.
No.
That's on the face of this earth.
What's the limit to number
Has
of people who can go to the
limited
Vatican
resources.
City?
And we pay, taxes, and you have to have some kind of guideline to maintain those resources. And if you just let things wide open,
Okay,
there's
let's
going to be
say
a
we
real
let things
problem.
wide open. What would happen?
Well, your resources would be basically
What do you mean? What
Gone.
resources?
well, hospital.
Yeah, but
type
that's
of
not
thing.
the fault of the immigrants.
I didn't say anything.
we should. That's the government giving it.
I
to
didn't
them.
say anything about blaming them for it. I'm just talking reality of.
Well,
the
what if people go
situation.
to Malaysia and they go to the hospital? Why would that be bad for Malaysia? Why are people going to the hospital bad? Why is that bad?
Well, it's not. It's just that you.
Well,
I
I
mean,
thought that was your example.
well, the people that are paying taxes and having to pay for that, it would affect you different. We're not necessarily having to do it here, but in other parts of the country they do.
What?
And when-
They do what?
Well, hospitals being shut down because they can't afford to keep running.
Yeah, but that's still not
That's
the blame
because
of the immigrants.
That's
Gary.
that's
The immi-
because
that-
people are going there and not paying their bills. But that's because of a federal law that lets anybody go in there, not just
yeah,
immigrants.
That's the problem, not the immigrants.
Well,
I just saw a poll, Gary, where they actually are contributing more dollars to the economy than they're taking out.
Yeah, I guarantee you one thing: all three of us couldn't get free service. I guarantee you that.
I mean,
Right.
Mexico?
No, here.
Right. No, I agree. You're right.
I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, well,
You're right. We can't.
and they shouldn't.
But we
either.
shouldn't.
They should.
Yeah,
Nobody
I mean,
should.
True,
Nobody should
exactly.
get free hospital
Exactly.
stuff. Nobody should be paying this new health. We shouldn't even have this healthcare district tax.
Well, I am. What else, Gary? What else about immigration? Why are you for open borders, as I am?
Well, I think that the main reason I'm for it is because I think it's leading us toward the police state. It is the excuse for that we're going to get the national ID card in the name of immigration. We're going to get all these. We're going to get E-Verify in the name of immigration. So you're going to need permission from the government in order to work, in order to get a job. All sorts of things that are coming down the pike that are really the police state are going to be the camel's nose. Under the tent is going to be immigration. They just passed the voter ID thing, and and there all kinds of things are happening, and a lot of very rational, normal people who would be against these police state measures say, "Oh, well, if it's to fight immigration, then I'll be for it."
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that really bothers me about that.
Absolutely. In other words, they use that as a guise to bring tyranny upon everybody.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I think.
Yeah. And in fact, Texas, didn't they just pass that checkpoint now where you.
Did that pass? I thought that didn't pass.
Well, maybe it did, but that was the reason given for why they were going to do.
They were
it.
going. It was gun control. It was all kinds of crazy things. They were going to have a checkpoint and check you to see if you had too much cash. I mean, it's all kinds of nutty things, and it's all because the drug
war, immigrant war.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hypocritical to be for liberty and freedom, and whether you believe it's a international banking conspiracy, a new world order beating down on all of us, or just an out of control federal government. It's when you advocate freedom and liberty and freedom. Oh, but by the way, new world order, go terrorize these immigrants. It just doesn't. It's not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the people that are advocating all these immigration restrictions, establishment hacks, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, Rick Perry. He's for all that police state. And by the way, are you still going? If Rick Perry gets in the debate, are you still gets in the race? Are you going to be a backer?
Oh yeah.
Over Ron Paul?
Yeah. I mean, I love Ron Paul, but the powers that be are not going to let it happen.
Rick Perry,
they're not going to let Ron Paul have it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, he's for war on terror and war on drugs and all the just a typical establishment hack.
True. That's true. I mean, I won't disagree with that. That's true. I wished truthfully that Ron Paul would have a real chance at it, but in reality, ain't going to happen.
But you like Rick Perry for some reasons.
Well, yeah. I mean, the fact he is a Texan,
mm-hmm.
and he's done some good things. It's not all been bad.
Okay.
That I agree with, just like everybody else.
Right.
There's
so what's he
good.
done that's good?
Yeah, what's he done that's good?
Well, he's kept the budget here in Texas. I think he's
mm-hmm.
done a good job of keeping things pretty steady.
Okay.
Job wise, Texas
he does have a record on that.
So those things affect us, our families and people we don't know. So, like I say, I will definitely support him.
So you think he's running for president?
Oh yes, he will. He will definitely
run for president.
He will run.
Well, I can't support him. In fact, I won't be voting again. I haven't voted since 1994. That was the last time I was on the ballot for U.S. Congress. I think the whole voting system is rigged. It's genuinely dishonest, and by voting, it's
endorsing the system.
Yeah, you're endorsing.
But I mean, I know. I mean, I agree with all the computer systems the way they are. It's very easy to cheat on voting, but really, Jeff, what other way do we have to put the people in? We've got to vote them, or
Well, we know there's fraud. That Nikki Maxwell from the Gonzales Cannon called in here, and these city council people in Gonzales are resigning because of the vote. They admit voter fraud.
Yeah, but we can't just say, well, they're getting their way and we just stop voting. I can never agree with that, because you being a veteran, I mean, that was one of the things I always believed I was, quote, fighting for, is the freedom that we have to vote, and elect, supposedly elect the people of our choice. But I know it's corrupt. I mean, I know that happens, but I cannot condone people just up and say, the heck with it, I'm not voting.
Really?
Because that's what's causing it now. What is it, 4 or 5% of the population that actually votes?
Yeah, in this most recent
city council.
Oh, it was really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that right there.
Yeah, but to me, that might even be kind of a good sign. Maybe the vast majority of people know that it's a rigged system.
Well, also, Austin has this ridiculous campaign finance law where people cannot donate more than a very small amount of money to the campaigns, and as soon as that took effect, the turnout went down a lot. If you look at just before that, the turnout was much higher. So there's no advertising. People don't even know there's an election. They don't know who the candidates are. So that's the problem, is the campaign finance law that we have in this city.
Yeah. It's rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About Rick Perry. Now, I would support Ron Paul over Rick Perry, but I said on my radio show, I made a prediction that Rick Perry's not going to run for president, but he's making all these noises to get his name out there, and I think he's going to. He wants to be the vice presidential candidate, and I think he will be the vice presidential candidate. He's a ticket balancer and all that. He's not really running. It's too late for him to run. See, but he's available and he gets his record out there, and whoever the Republican candidate is, they can pick him. He's going to carry Texas for them, and I think he's going to be the next vice president. That's my prediction.
That's an interesting prediction. Now, before we get to the video, Jeff, if you can get the video rolled up here, I want to make sure you get a good plug in for your radio show and Gary's acting. Okay, so you're on the Rule of Law Radio Network.
RuleofLawRadio.com.
RuleofLawRadio.com. Last night you had Mike Hansen.
Mike Hansen was on the show talking about his book, Bohemian Grove, Cult of Conspiracy. Bohemian Grove is going on right now.
It
starts Wednesday, July 13th. It's for 2 weeks, and Mike was telling us all about it. And, of course, how he and Alex Jones infiltrated there. He said, don't try to go in now because the security's been beefed up. But he wrote, as you know, this book, this 400-page book about this, and gives all the background about not only his visit there, but also the whole history of the secret society.
Any of them, yeah. Just make sure there's enough time.
And also the meaning of it all. And so he was there and give us all the inside information.
You know, it's amazing to me. People ask me what I think. Right there it is, right? Rule of Law. It's Sunday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Central Time. Good show. I'm glad you're back on there.
Yes, 90.1 FM
90.1 FM here in Austin. Mike always makes a good interview.
Yes.
He's done a lot of stuff. But people ask me what I think about the Bohemian Grove, and it's like, they're participating in things that I certainly wouldn't do. And when you think that it's world leaders, doing this stuff,
it's crazy. I mean, these other meetings, like the Bilderberg conference. Apparently, they're kind of formal affairs, and they have banquets and they have discussions. But Bohemian Grove, they're out there and they're doing weird things.
Oh yeah, worshiping owls and all that. Well, why would world leaders?
They're peeing in public, and it's all kinds of weird stuff.
And then that's maybe a pretty good illustration of why we're in the shape we're in, huh?
Yeah, good reason.
Yeah. World leaders up there worshiping owls, and Skull and Bones. George Bush and John Kerry both are ex-Skull and Bones, and they were the Democrat and Republican in 2004. And what they had to do was get in a coffin and scream out their naked and scream out their wild sexual fantasies to be a member of the Skull and Bones. And these two guys were the two guys running for president on the. Oh, God. So, what do you think about that? Pretty weird stuff.
Weird and kind of sad, actually.
Now, Gary Teague, tell us about this television show, Dallas.
Oh, yeah. It's been about a month ago, did the pilot for Dallas. It's going to actually be a new series on the old Dallas show.
On what network?
TNT.
TNT.
And it won't actually it'll start showing next year.
And you're featured now. If we had a computer, I'd play this.
Oh wow! Yeah.
On their websites, you're in their video.
Yeah,
like a trailer.
Yeah. And
well, can you describe it?
It's the wedding scene.
And
Bobby gets married.
Okay.
And,
Bobby Ewing.
Yeah,
right?
Bobby Ewing.
Yeah.
And we're just celebrating. Everybody's happy, and I'm in the front row at the end with the Ewings, and just a party atmosphere. Had different scenes where they have the bar open and everybody's mingling and music going, the band's playing, and just typical type wedding thing.
And you will make it a featured appearance.
Oh, yeah.
In the trailer.
Yes.
Well, if we get a computer in here next week, we'll have to play.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to
Now,
play.
Bobby, he was killed. Oh, no, that was just a dream. He was all just a dream.
He got a new wife.
Now check out folks Gary Teague's acting resume. What do you prefer? IMDb.com.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
And you're up there. You're up there right in the feature film Bernie,
Yeah.
directed by Richard Linklater. You're right up there with you're posted up there with what, Jack Black, McConaughey,
Yeah, McConaughey, I think, is at the top. Jack Black and Shirley MacLaine and
and then
Gary
Gary
Teague.
Teague in the cast.
Yeah, I just checked that before I come in,
Yeah,
show
yeah.
tonight.
Right there.
Now,
go
Bernie,
ahead.
you mean the town? Or,
No, Bernie is a feature film. You know Dick Linklater.
I don't know him. I know who
You know
he
who
is.
he is. Okay.
I mean, well, spell it.
Well, he was the director.
Is not BOERNE?
It's BERNIE.
Okay.
Basically, it's a true story of a guy named Bernie, who's played by Jack Black in the film.
Okay.
Who lived in Carthage, Texas, and he murdered some woman and kept her body in a refrigerator for like 9 months. And he's in Huntsville now, I guess. He got a life
Good.
sentence. So, but that's kind of what the movie's about.
Yeah.
And I worked 2 days in it, so I'm looking forward to see that come out.
Yeah, I would be thinking it'll be either this year or next year for sure, but it may be later, like around December, but I hadn't officially heard for sure.
It had a good cast: Shirley MacLaine, Matthew McConaughey, Jack Black,
Yeah.
and then Richard Linklater directing. So, okay,
It's
go
a
ahead.
musical comedy.
It's dark comedy, is what I was told.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And so it's wait. So what? So anything? So you're in the trailer of the feature of Dallas.
Yeah.
And you're right up there in the credits in Bernie. So you're really getting out there.
Just so far everything's falling into place this year. I'm hoping things will pick up. Right now it's kind of a lull,
It is.
but got some irons in the fire, but they're not ready yet. So just kind of sit and wait.
Yeah, this time last year I was pretty much a working actor. I was working just about however much I wanted.
Yeah,
But it's been slowed down this year for me anyway, so far. So,
Yeah.
but we're still optimistic, Gary.
Uh-huh.
We're
Gotta
still-
hustle.
Yeah, that's it. Got to hustle. Okay, folks, we're going to talk when we
Gotta
get back.
schmooze and network.
We're going to talk about the war on drugs, war on prostitution. What other prohibitions? Oh, freedom of speech.
Okay.
I might as well just talk about this real quick now. I do not like the fact that this is a primetime show, and the FCC tells us that we can't have naked women down here on the show. I don't like that. I'd like to have some nude women down here, some nudists or something.
Wouldn't we all? But it's funny
That's an
because in other countries they do that. Japan and some European countries, they have nudity on television. It's no big deal. It's kind of odd that it's not in America.
Well, they haven't told me yet that what I can or cannot talk about, as far as I know. But no nude women down.
That had that big controversy when in the Super Bowl in the halftime show when Janet Jackson showed her nipple. Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And the FCC fined CBS some large amount of money. CBS fought the fine all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court overturned the fine and said that they did not have to pay a fine for that. So some of those restrictions are challengeable. If the networks or the TV stations will challenge some of the FCC's regulations on this. So
Maybe I'll do that. But one of the last shows I
Show
know
your
I'm going to be
nipple.
doing, just get a woman down here and just strip naked and see if anything happens to me. Happens to the show. But then, you think about though, that's impeding the First Amendment rights of this program.
Yes.
Telling
Well,
us-
there are many Supreme Court cases involving strippers, and it's free speech. And yes, there actually are.
So that's just another area that I think, frankly, I think the whole FCC should be abolished.
Yes. It is censorship. I've kind of looked at there. Actually, if people have been taken off the air because of regulations. Father Charles Coughlin,
yes,
was actually taken off the air because he criticized the Roosevelt administration. He did a lot of other things that made people mad, but it was his criticism of FDR that got him taken off the air because they created a new regulation that put him off the air. And so it was done, and it's kind of frightening. It happened in America.
Yeah. So anyway, we come back. We're going to talk about freedoms, liberty, and problems created by prohibitions. I want to ask you, Gary. But I've asked so many people this. Do you believe that the war on drugs has turned America's police and sheriff departments into terrorist organizations?
Well, they certainly, it's given them too much power. In the way they go about doing things, you mentioned terrorists, but they're certainly breaking the law themselves on the way they go about it, and that I don't like.
Have you seen some of these no-knock raids? They come in wearing black ski masks. Shit, they look like Al Qaeda.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine somebody, in your home or whatever, and hear commotion going on out. I mean, what are you supposed to expect? I mean,
there's been a lot of people killed. I've been posting stories up on Facebook that a lot of times they'll kill either the homeowners or their pets.
They'll get the pets right there.
Yeah, they get the pets pretty quick.
But they'll kill the homeowner, and the homeowner is not necessarily armed or doing anything. They're just, we thought he had a gun, and they'll shoot him.
Well, then they have their internal investigation. Every time there's somebody killed by the police anywhere in America, they have their internal investigation where they investigate themselves, and then that's always they followed proper procedures. It doesn't matter if somebody was killed or what the situation was, they follow proper procedures.
Yeah, and they always get it as quick as they can into internal affairs, so that way they can withhold any information about it.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Yeah, let's try this one. Welcome, you're on Worldwide.
I am on Worldwide.
Hey, Mike Hansen, where you at?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I had a major emergency and we couldn't make it.
That's okay.
And somebody broke into one of the units over on Church Street and spilled a bunch of paint all over the place, and I had to wait till the police left, so I couldn't get away in time.
Are you in Gonzales now?
Sure am. Come and take it to you.
Well, good. Come tell us about. Why I got you here. I want to ask you: is the Gonzales City Council what's going on? Is those draconian livestock ordinances and all that? Those are dead or what?
It's been over a year and they hadn't done anything, so I would say it's dead. Plus, they just got caught stealing a bunch of money. It's on the front page of the Gonzales Cannon, also on the Gonzales Enquirer. The city got caught stealing a lot of money. So they're tied up in their own little issues. I don't think they're going to worry about our horses anymore.
Good.
I'm sure.
But I did get a letter from the Internal Affairs of Travis County.
Oh, good. About now, this is about your complaint of Officer Tom Carpenter?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, let me get it over here.
Remember
first.
that complaint he filed about they did?
Because you're not going to believe.
I'll believe.
The letter's real short. It says, "Please be advised." This is Dear Mr. Hansen. Please be advised. The above reference investigation has been completed. Mm-hmm. The investigation has been reviewed by the involved employees' chain of command, and appropriate action has been taken. Thanks for bringing this matter to our attention.
Is that it?
So I called the Travis County Internal Affairs today to find out what this letter means, because it really don't mean anything. If you read it over and over, it means nothing. and they told me that they did a thorough investigation and that this incident didn't even happen.
Oh,
Can you believe that?
oh, so he didn't retaliate.
Did not even go to my brother, DPS, Richard McCain, and to others about this. He was also on the in court and said he did it. So how they can sit up there and say that this incident never happened and that it was made up, I don't know. But anyway, I called James Sylvester. He's the chief deputy underneath Greg Hamilton, the Travis County Sheriff, and he claims that he is going to do his own investigation and get back with me in a couple days. And I told him I would wait to see if they can get away from this and investigating themselves kind of stuff.
Oh.
And he said he would check on it. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
So
Chief deputy.
I want to make sure I understand. So they're saying that Travis County Sheriff's Deputy Tom Carpenter did not retaliate against you to try to get your handgun license taken away.
Did not happen. According to the
Did not happen.
That none of it happened. My brother, which you heard live on TV one night, admit that they talked about that. Richard McCain, which plenty of people know Richard McCain in the community. He's a constable in Precinct 3. DPS and APD and other people, I guess they all just made it up.
That's interesting. So you still got.
I think it's more than interesting, Jeff. I think it's a complete cover-up by the Travis County Internal Affairs. And this person's name, that detective that wrote the letter, is Danny, and the last name is Canty.
Canty?
Yes.
Canty?
Yeah, Danny Canty.
Danny Canty.
And, I was expecting something like, well, yeah, he did do it, but it was allowed or whatever. I had no idea, and no way did I think that they'd come back with a defense that it never even happened.
Mike, what's amazing is the letter you just read doesn't even say that. The letter is, as you say, says nothing. You had to get that to get this cover up. You had to get the fact that it was a cover up by asking. You need it in writing from Detective Canty that what he just said.
Absolutely, but I'm done with that bunch. I'm on to James Sylvester, Chief Deputy, and he claims that that he's going to get to the bottom of it. And he did claim that. It was interesting when I mentioned Richard McCain. He started laughing and said, "You mean that group that tasers old grandmas?" So I said, "Well, I agree with you on that part of it, but let's stick with this case."
The letter said appropriate action has been taken. Did you ask about what the appropriate action was? It sounded like no action was taken, but what
They said that this incident never happened.
What appropriate action was taken?
That nobody could tell me.
Well, I think you're entitled to know. I think the public has a right to know.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Mike. This guy tried to retaliate against you for filming.
Well, not according to the Travis County Internal Affairs.
Well, that
didn't happen.
Well, that's why we're on it here. That's why we're investigating it here.
Well, you're the one that gave me the idea to go and complain about it because I really didn't think anything about it. And the more I thought about it after you said it, Jeff, I said, you know what? That is retaliation. Just because you get a ticket don't mean that an officer has the right to go investigate your personal life and go beyond their duty and try to get somebody's handgun license revoked for no reason at all.
Well, you filmed him. He didn't like filming him and all that.
And he was even in court talking about this incident because I asked him about it in court. Everybody that was at that courtroom knows about it because his answer was, well, he had a camera and he was dangerous. And he did kind of remind me of the Fort Hood shooting That's what his answer was.
I don't see any connection with the Fort Hood shooting. What's interesting is, Watergate, what they say about Watergate is the crime, the break-in was bad enough, but what really brought everybody down was the cover-up. And it seems like this is a cover-up that may even be more serious than the crime itself, although the crime itself is serious.
Well, if anybody knows the second in command, I talked to him today a lot for 2 hours, James Sylvester, Chief Deputy. It's in his hands now, and if they want to get rid of their unclean hands, they're going to have to come back and give me a different answer than it didn't even happen.
What were you
I would
saying,
accept it. Gary, I would accept it. Well, that was in our regulations. He could investigate somebody's handgun license, but I never would have thought that they would have come back with an answer that this never even happened.
Right.
What were you going to say, Gary?
Oh, I was just saying the guy was leading to the fact of, what was it, the case in Fort Hood. So he could bring that old, Homeland Security. Everybody might be a terrorist. We got to be.
Yeah, that's what he was. That's what he claimed to the judge and the jury why he did it, because he thought maybe that it could be another situation like Fort Hood.
Yeah.
So you've been following an Islamic extremist in Yemen lately? I don't.
Well, I am a veteran, so I guess if you're
Mike,
a veteran,
you did the
these
right
days-
thing. You
You're a
did the
veteran?
right thing by filing the complaint, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I think we did, but I just think that they shouldn't be able to get away with that answer. They should have to come up and.
I think they've made it worse. I think
so too.
I mean, as you said, if they had done some kind of slap on the wrist for him, and you wouldn't be overjoyed with it, but at least it'd be a lot better than this. I think they've dug themselves deeper into a hole.
And I haven't been able to get a hold. I asked them if they did call everybody, and they said they did. And I hadn't been able to get a hold of my brother yet, but I can't believe that my brother would have said no. This incident didn't happen whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, y'all have a good show.
And you're not gonna be
y'all-
you're not gonna be here next week, right?
No, I'll be out of town, but I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Oh, happy birthday on when, next Tuesday?
I'm not going to tell you how old, Jeff.
Well, but next Tuesday's your birthday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, happy birthday, Mike.
I'm about 10 years younger than Jeff Davis.
Yeah, right. Take care, Mike. Okay, so we'll just skip the video, go right into war on drugs.
It may be that second.
That same thing
Yeah,
again.
there you go.
Now, I'm for freedom, Gary. I like liberty. That's probably the main reason why I've done this show for so long. I like freedom.
Okay.
I believe that people should be able to smoke pot. People should be able to snort cocaine. People should be allowed to shoot heroin. I believe there should be a recreational drug-free market. You could create millions of jobs. Corporate marijuana farms, distribution systems, retail shops similar to what's going on in California and Washington State, Denver. A lot of these states now are moving towards medical marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe if just for freedom and liberty's sake, the government has no business telling you what you can or cannot, should or should not put in your own body. How do you feel?
I think they should also be able to drink coffee and tea,
Coffee,
and
tea.
drink a beer and smoke cigarettes and do all sorts of things and take aspirin and whatever. I agree with you. The government should not be dictating to people what they can do with their own bodies.
Yes. How do you feel, Gary?
Well, if they won't let the government, then let me.
Okay. So what are you going to do?
No, I want to say something here about this drug war.
Yeah.
I remember, Jeff, when I first come on the show, I was dead set against legalizing
I remember
drugs.
that. I remember that.
And I wish people didn't use them and all that, but I know that's a pipe dream. I mean, it's going to happen. It is reality. But I have changed my mind as far as the fact that I do believe that the drug should be legalized to stop all this killing and corruption that's going on in our own country.
Yeah.
And it's just gotten out of hand. And,
Mexico's a perfect example.
It's
Man.
like alcohol prohibition. It's like Al Capone and the gangsters and the machine guns and all that.
Yeah, I mean,
And you don't have to endorse. You don't have to advocate that it's to smoke it, or you can advocate against it, but just don't have a government enforced prohibition where you got thugs coming out coming out in ski masks.
People getting killed just for
getting killed,
doing something in their home. That's not right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we're pretty much in agreement on all that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And surprisingly, I've noticed CNN. I watch a little bit of a lot of these things, very little, but some. And CNN about a month ago put up a graphic on their live shows that looked just like the Jeff Davis show. It's right on the topic was "Say No to the Drug War." It wasn't, should pot be legalized, or it was "Say No to the Drug War." And so that's very.
What show was it?
I don't remember. One of those anchors, on CNN.
That's CNN. They keep,
but
they're having trouble. They can't hold on to the,
Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention this
Was
thing.
it Elliot Spitzer? No, he's been fired too.
Oh, he's been fired. Yes. So there is public opinion is changing on that. No doubt about it. And I'm not just talking about pot. I'm talking about people recognize the death and mayhem created by these prohibitions.
Yes.
Of sending people out with guns to enforce drug prohibition, all the death and mayhem that equates from that. People are starting to see that. That's very encouraging.
Yes. And it's kind of sad that we have to have something like that to make people realize it, because but especially what's going on in Mexico, people just have to realize that is being caused by the war on drugs.
And I also want since you brought that up, I guarantee you that now the media is doing this on a regular basis. All these deaths that are going on down there, the mainstream media, they just, it's the drug cartels killing them. It's the drug cartels killing them. Have you ever seen the Mexican police down there? Video of the Mexican police? The black ski.
Yeah, right.
I guarantee.
Well, they're all working for the cartels.
I guarantee you that a lot of those killings are coming from the Mexican police.
Yeah.
But the media will never.
That's why they were into ski masks.
That's right. That's why else are they wearing the ski?
Right.
I've seen some of their arrests, and they'll like they'll have the drug, the Mexican drug dealer. He'll be coming out regular shirt, jeans, look like a regular guy. And in the background they've got the Mexican police, and they've all got these big black ski masks, and the media they tell us they're supposed to be the good guys. Well, I don't buy it that they're the good guys.
Right.
So, but that's just another artifact of prohibition. It's corrupted the police departments, everything. So
we had a call.
We did. If you'd like to call in, folks, we got about 4 more minutes. If you'd like to, we did have a call. So, end drug prohibition.
Try again if you want.
End drug prohibition. Finally, well, what about prostitution? I contend that prostitution prohibition is creating a lot of death and mayhem. Do you understand? Do you see that, Gary? Brothels in Vegas work just fine in the state of Nevada. These people talk about spread of diseases. Well, let's try this call, but the spread of diseases is an artifact of the prohibition. Mm-hmm. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hi, it's Lorraine.
Hi, Lorraine. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. Worldwide. How you doing, sweetie?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Everything's getting settled. I'll be flying out to Korea on August 6th.
Ah. Where are you going in Korea?
It's called a city called Asan.
And is that north, south?
It's in South Korea.
But I mean, south. What part of South Korea?
It's south of Seoul.
Okay.
I hope you
It's
keep.
south of Seoul.
I hope you keep communications here with the Jeff Davis show, Lorraine.
Oh, I sure will. I'm watching online right now.
Are you good? Thank you. From Des Moines, Iowa. What do you think about that? Do you agree with our conversation here? You're basically
I'm against the war and drugs.
you're basically a libertarian, right?
Right.
Yeah. I noticed on your last on one of your Facebook postings, you mentioned that last week's show you had a lot of mixed feelings, as did I.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought you asked very good questions.
Yeah.
I only asked really one question, but yeah, I did have a lot of mixed feelings about that.
Yeah. And so, Lorraine, we love you. We're just about
All right.
ready. We're just about ready to go off here.
Okay, well,
Bye-bye.
have a great day, and hello everybody in Austin.
Keep us posted.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right, bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, let's try this one real quick. We got one more here. Welcome. You're on Worldwide.
Hey Jeff. Hey Gary.
Hey.
I've got my dad here. He's in town from Dallas. First time watching the Jeff Davis show. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the good work. Stay bold, and follow at Say Wadle at Twitter. Say Wadle. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Well, that was a good call. Okay, so let's see. We've got about a minute to go. We got another. No, that's that thing doing again. But
Okay, but you have about 1 minute left.
I'm for liberty, Gary. Plain and simple. My legacy. I want my legacy to be liberty. I stood up hard for freedom and liberty on all issues, and peace.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known as a Sean Hannity. You know, never met a war he didn't like individual. All this foreign military intervention that's going on, I think, is wrong. It has been wrong for decades, and America needs to stop it. That's I'm for peace and liberty. You think that's a good platform?
Oh, I do. Like you're talking about the country's occupation.
Yeah.
That's what the Nazis did.
That's right.
And we need to get out of those countries.
Well, these Al Qaeda tapes, they'll tell you right in the tapes that the reason why they want to attack America here is because the American military has been over there. And we have no defense to that because they're right.
Yeah. I mean, how would we like it if another
If China was over here.
country? Oh, yeah. I mean,
Folks, we're done. Love you. We'll see you back live next week. Bye. Good job, Gary.